The drawing space in a landscape plan developed with gCADPlus works in the X direction across to the right and in the Y direction running up. And you can define any point in a drawing accurately by pairs of coordinates. So I can draw from the start, which is 0 in the X and 0 in the Y, up to the point 0, 1 to 1, 1. So that's 1 in the X and 1 in the Y. Now we're up 1 in the X, 2 in the Y. That point there is 2 in the X and 2 in the Y, and so on. So I've set the drawing color to green, so let's draw a line. We'll put snap on so we can jump to those points, and we can move across like so, and you may be able to see the green line being drawn. And I'll right click and exit. Now if I change the colors to another color, we'll pick magenta. There are other ways. You can see what's happening now as I move around. The cursor is jumping to control points. So I'll take snap off for the moment. If I wanted to draw from, say, the start, which was 0, 0, up to that point 2, 2, I could do it in a different way. I could say draw a line. I could type the pairs of X and Y coordinates, 0, 0, then hit the Enter key. That anchors the start of my new line down at the bottom left at that coordinate. And now what I want to do is to run to point 2, 2. So I can say the next point, I can just respond 2, 2 and hit Enter. And the magenta line runs where we want it to run. Let's change our drawing color again. What we'll do, rather than do that, we'll erase that line. That's fine, but in that instance you need to know the pairs of coordinates of all these points, which clearly in a landscape plan you won't. So you might know, for the sake of argument, that a line starts at some nominated 0, 0. You might define that point yourself and then run, say, up here at an angle of somewhere between 45 and 90, so maybe 60 degrees. So we could say draw a line from, I could say 0, 0, or it might be easier to pick up the end of either the red line or the yellow line. You can see as I move in here, the software finds that point for you. Now what we want to do is run a line up at, say, an angle such as this, a defined length. It might be a property boundary. So I can say at, I can give it the distance of the line. So we'll say 3.5. Let's imagine we're working in decimal feet. So this is going to be a line 3.5 feet long. And at an angle, say somewhere between 45 and 90, we'll pick an angle. So you hold the Shift key down to get the angle sign, an angle of 60, and then hit the right mouse button or the Enter key to finish. If we now select that line and look in the properties box over here, you can see its angle is precisely 60 and its length is 3.5. What I'm trying to illustrate at this point is that you're looking in that back drawing area effectively at a piece of graph paper, even though you cannot see the divisions, and we're able to draw accurate lengths of lines and accurate angles and snap to points that are in the drawing if we know these various techniques. And as you read through this user guide, you'll be able to get a lot more information on the different ways of building a drawing.